Did you know that 46% of teenagers ages 16 to 18 admit to texting while driving? The sad truth is, many of you in the audience here today are probably a part of that large statistic. Maybe it was your boss calling to get the stats from a sales meeting earlier that day, or a friend calling to meet up for a place for drinks later on. Well, you know that it wouldn't take less than a minute to type a response with your thumbs, so you do so. There's a little risk here. You think, and then it happens. The person in front of you stops before you realize it and you get into a car crash. As you can already see, texting while driving has become a serious issue, especially for teenagers like you and I here today. I want you all to walk away today with a clear understanding of the consequences that come along with texting and driving, and hopefully never be tempted with them again. I'm very passionate about texting and driving myself, and this is because I was once a victim of texting and driving. I was on my way home from school one day when I got rear-ended by a vehicle, and the driver was obviously texting while driving. She claimed that she didn't see the brakes on my car, but when later examined, she had been texting and driving. I plan to speak to you today about the growing problem, and hope that you never want to do it again and fix that problem so you're not a victim like me or cause a reckless accident. This growing problem is something that we must fix soon. Experts say driving while texting is the leading factor in all car accidents. This makes driving while texting even more dangerous than drinking and driving, which is insane. Now, the Car and Driver magazine did a recent study on drivers and how long it took them to hit the brakes while they were unimpaired, legally drunk, reading a text, or sending a text. The unimpaired drivers only took 0.54 seconds to hit the brakes. The legally drunk added 4 feet. Reading a text added 36 feet. That's even 32 more feet than when you're drunk to hit the brakes when you're reading a text or an email. And sending a text, obviously the most dangerous thing you can do, adds 70 feet to how long it's going to take you to hit the brakes. As you can see, this is very dangerous. Now, it is so dangerous that already 14 states have set laws banning texting and driving, and 17 states have banned even talking on the phone or texting and driving. For many inexperienced drivers, 18 and younger get tickets for this. As you can see, with the help of the law, a solution is within our reach. All we need is college students like you and I to resist the temptation. Not only everyone around you, but even you will help make a difference. You will benefit from not driving and texting, and it will prevent you from being sidetracked on the road. It will avoid the cost of an accident, also the cost of someone else's life or even your own. Now, this can all start with just a few steps. The first thing you can do to prevent driving while texting is to simply plan ahead. If using text messaging to find an address, to confirm a meeting place, or to remind the babysitter to take your kids to practice, simply get this task done before you leave the house. That way you're not tempted to while you're on the road. Another simple way to prevent driving while texting is to simply put the phone out of your sight, turn it off. I call this the out of sight, out of mind technique. If you don't hear your phone ring, if you don't hear yourself receive a text message, then you're obviously not going to be tempted to answer it. Another thing you can do is to simply pull over. This is something you're going to want to do in an emergency. If it's really essential to read a text message or someone, then wait until it's safe, pull over into the shoulder, send the text if it's that urgent, and then put the cell phone out of sight and get back to driving. Another thing you can do is before departing, send a text message to anyone who is likely to text you while you're out. Just say, hey, I'm going to be on the road, I'll text you in a few minutes, and that's all you have to do, and then you won't be tempted by receiving texts from all your friends. The last and most important thing you can do is to simply not think of the driving time as a time to accomplish all those loose ends that didn't get tied at the office or while you were at school. Driving is a time to drive, and that's all it's for. When it comes to texting and driving, teens are a particular risk group. Considering that the average U.S. mobile now sends or receives 2,899 text messages per month. Now, it's no surprise that out of all those text messages, at least a few of these are sent while teenagers are behind the wheel. But the good thing is the habits can change. Just how habits can change with drinking and driving, wearing seatbelts, texting and driving can also have a solution. Texting is fun and it can be addictive too, but with life on the line, it is important to have safe driving habits. Put it into perspective, not any text messages are worth the risk of having a potentially fatal car accident. Now I would like to introduce you to my audience. My dad, Vincent Wagnon, my brother, Zachary Wagnon, and my stepmom, Cecilia Hickey.